getting back to the Democrats, and I know this may be a kind of an uncomfortable question, but what do you think needs to happen at this point? Because you're right. Right now, the Democrats are they don't have a major presence in the county, and with all of this public infighting and people like
it's not even infighting. It's an iron-fisted thing. They want to protect, and I don't care if you say anything. They want to protect Matt Casilius. I don't know why. I told Mr. Swanson I don't want anything to do with him. I really don't. He tried to insinuate himself into the scholarship committee, which he's never had any interest in it. And then he wanted to come with me when I handed out the scholarship. I said no. Well, he sent me an email like at 9:00 the night before the deal, and somebody said to me, "Did you answer it?" I said, "No, I went to bed." I was the person chosen to take the 2 scholarships up to the dinner at the Inn of the Mountain Gods for their scholarship night. And I said he wasn't invited. He wasn't on anybody's list. The guidance counselor there, Mrs. What's her name? I know her name now. I can't think of it. Anyway, she's real good, and she keeps a list of all the donors, presenters, and then they get 2 tickets to the parents. So he couldn't have gotten in. They would have locked the door. His name wasn't on any list to be at the dinner, but I found out later that he was wandering the halls, but they wouldn't let him in the room because, like I said, he wasn't on the list. So Lisa Morales is the guidance counselor up there. She's real good, real good. She always lets us know, she puts out the thing for the essay, the essay provision and whatever. So she's really good. So I don't know what needs to be done. They're all protecting each other, and I don't know what the deal is. We're told, and then I guess he went after Arthur. Arthur was very upset and very frustrated, and I guess Matt got up in his face and told him I wasn't there. That was after the meeting was over. I was already home, and the next day I had called Brianna to let her know that I would do voter registration at Juneteenth, and you missed all the fun. Well, it wasn't fun. Don't you get it?
I don't think. I think the answer to that is no. You're right. It seems to me that Crescelius is being protected on all angles, even when he is, quite frankly, in many cases, from many stories I've heard, including yours, he's out of control. Yeah. If the DPOC is going to protect someone like this, they cannot represent people in their right mind in the community. You can't. You cannot say this guy needs to be protected.
Exactly. They talk about Richard Kessner, and Richard Kessner's a good guy, and he went down there to Chaparral. I went there before Richard Kessner ever thought of going to Chaparral. I went to Steyer's grocery store. I knew Dolores Wright, God rest her soul, was a representative down there. We went to the church. We did all kinds of. One Thanksgiving, I gave out chickens at the store. Anybody that had and then Mr. Steyer's gave me the amount of money for how many chickens they gave out. And that's a presence. Somebody from the Democratic Party, we were there. They gave out chickens. We had a whole meeting when Stephen Easley, he was on the Alamogordo board here. We went down to Chaparral and did our whole meeting in Spanish. Excuse me. So, we brought pencils and all kind of school supplies there to the meeting and gave them out. So that lends itself to having a presence, and we say, hey, the Democrats are pretty good guys, they came down and did this or that, or it makes them aware that the party would do that. Winning races, my father always believed we never let the opposition run free. So that's why I ran so many times, and they think losing a race is being a loser. I told Chris last night, I said, do losers get invited to lunch with Deb Haaland? Secretary of the Interior. Do losers get? I'm going tomorrow to the Inn of the Mountain Gods. I was invited by the Majority Whip. Linda Lopez is on the Indian Affairs Committee. She said, we're going to be there. If you're free, come on up. I've known Linda Lopez since before her son was born. As representative, she's not anymore, Candy Sweetser from Deming. She said, Stephanie, you're known statewide. And I'm not known as a loser. I'm known as somebody that steps up and says, got to have the fair booth. We got to be in the parade. The Ward 3 chair, Joanne Bulow and Ray, I can't think of Ray's last name. We were in the Mescalero parade as the Ward 3 Democrats. We had a float in their parade. So we had a presence. And people said, they yelled from the side, well, I'm a Democrat. So it's not about winning races or whatever. It's what have you done? I want to stand up and say, what have you guys done lately except gossip, backbiting, and knowing who's going steady with whom. I'm not into that. I'm into, let's get Democrats. Let's make them. Show some light on the Democratic candidates that are running and whatever. I'm not even talking about winning, but if you don't run, you can't win.
That's very, very true. So
yeah, you can't win if you don't run. If you don't play the game, you can't win. If you lose, there's no shame in losing. You tried.
Well, all that means is your message did not resonate as much as your opponent's. That doesn't mean your message was wrong. It doesn't mean it was right.
No, of course not. And you're only going to get to a certain percentage of the population, and you do the best you can with little or no money, just a lot of guts, and you get out there and do what you have to. So that's it for me. I just I don't know any other way to be. I see something that we need to do it, and let's get it done. But now it seems like, you're only allowed to do it if they let you, and right. As I said to Donna, I said, look, I'm 78. I don't want to be told I have to behave.
And nor do I think you would be capable of behaving, Stephanie. Let's be
honest. Probably not. We know that one. That's probably true.
But I do have a question now. Now, Sean Ward said in a recent email that he was going to be attending all DPOC meetings for the foreseeable future, as how I recall his quote. That may not be exactly, but pretty close.
Yeah, he came last night, and then he's supposed to come next month. I don't know if he's going to come to every one.
But is he there to babysit, or what's going on?
I don't know. He's the... let's put it this way. This is my opinion. He's part of the company store, and he's getting paid by the state party to do whatever. So he's not going to make this Otero County do anything that they don't want to do. That's just my opinion.
I would agree, what I mean? But it seems that at least based on the emails that he was not a big fan of the actions of Matt Creselius.
Well, I don't know. He asked the lady to leave too, so I don't know.
Yeah, a good point.
Yeah.
All right.
She told me that. She said he asked me to leave also. Because Joanne Bula said, "Well, Stephanie, you can say what you want. Sean will protect us." Well, that's not how it turned out, and that's why I left. I supported my friend, but I left. I thought, if you're not going to treat people, we're supposed to be an inclusive party, but they're going to pick and choose who they're going to include. I've never, ever in my 77 years of being a Democrat, I've gone to Valencia County. I've been to DuBois County. I've been to Chavez County. Nobody ever treated me, like I shouldn't have been there. One guy did ask me why I kept coming, but because he didn't know. I said, well, because I'm your CD2 vice chair. Oh, but that was okay. He wasn't being ugly. He just didn't know. But I try, they'd had other CD2 vice chairs that just wanted the, what's the word I want? Stepping stone for their whatever. Mine wasn't. I wanted to be a working vice chair that they saw and that they could come to me if they had problems or, whatever, if they had stuff that was going to go to the Judicial Council or not, because we serve on that as CD 1, 2, and 3. We serve on the Judicial Council for the state party. It's all about,
It's just a crazy set of circumstances going on with the Democratic Party of Otero County. So, Stephanie, any chance of you becoming a Republican?
No, no. I've been invited a few times, and back when Maud Rathgaber was chairman of the party for many, many years, and somebody came and said, could we talk you into being? I said, I'd make a lousy Republican. No offense, you do what you do, I do what I do.
There you go.
And
I would make a lousy Republican as well, but I'd also make a lousy Democrat. So, I'm.
The most important thing, and I've told people, is I don't care how you vote, but please, when you're registered to vote, please go and vote. They asked me at that new Hispanic caucus, Fuerzas Unidos, and she said, what do you see as some of the Anglos, white people can't serve on as executive board. We can be members, which is a Hispanic organization. And I said, my thing is that, and as a white person, I said, is that we get the young Hispanics to register, but then they don't vote. And I said, and the ballots are bilingual. They're in Spanish and English. I said, but a lot of times you find that they do not read and write Spanish. They only speak it. Not saying every time, but there are those exceptions. Right. So I said, I haven't talked to her because I had called her, but she wasn't home. I said, we need to, if we go with an absentee ballot, we need to have a follow-up and call, did you get your absentee ballot? Do you know how to, are you sure about voting and what you need to do to fill it out? So I said, it behooves these organizations that want to help. You really have to step up and say, if you're registered and you did go vote, that we will help you, but, make sure that you get to the polls, whatever. I said, I guess there wasn't a follow-up, which there should have been,
Absolutely.